So EA had their quarterly financial call where we learned Titanfall 2 has sold fewer copies than expected. Yeah, I know. Nobody saw that one coming, right? I think everybody saw that. And I still do not understand EA putting the release date where they did. It was like a week after the initial release of Battlefield 1 and then right before Call of Duty. So you had 3 AAA first-person shooters to choose from, and most obviously didn't choose Titanfall. And we talked about this before the launch. If they would have simply waited till February or March for this game, this would have done so much better, I think, at least in my opinion. So I don't blame Respawn for this, but I do blame squarely EA. And it also probably didn't help that the beta test turned off a lot of people who enjoyed the first one. And that sort of sucks as well for Respawn, because it turns out the game actually did get a whole lot better and wasn't as bad as the beta was. And so I think it's a solid game. I still recommend picking it up if you haven't already. In fact, I'll leave a link down below where you can go pick it up for half price at the moment. And I just got back into the single-player campaign, and I know that, shooters aren't supposed to have good campaigns, even though Doom ended up being pretty decent, I thought. This game is a solid campaign, and I didn't think much of it whenever I first started it, and that's why it's kind of drug out this long, and I'm still playing through it. But once you get 3 or 4 levels in, it turns out to be pretty good, and it's not just your wave after wave of enemies coming at you as you walk down some street corridor. It's actually pretty wide open, and you're doing other things than just pulling a trigger. But despite the poor sales, EA says that they remain committed to the series and to Respawn, so hopefully we will still see a Titanfall 3. And they do say that they hope Titanfall is going to continue to sell as they add more content. In other news from EA, they've got a new Need for Speed game that's on the way, although we don't really have any details as far as what it's about, but they do claim that it's going to be the best looking one so far. I think that's going to be like the 23rd game in that series. You've also got the new Star Wars Battlefront that's still being worked on. They said 3 different studios are currently working on that, and it's going to span multiple Star Wars eras, and this time it's going to have a single-player campaign. Overall, though, even though Titanfall 2 underperformed, EA still overperformed as far as their expectations go, and it turns out that's because of Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 is actually overperforming as far as what they had planned on, and so it kind of took up and carried the weight of Battlefield 1 as well as Titanfall. They say that the player base is currently 50% larger than what Battlefield 4 was at this point during its launch period. Also, you got FIFA and Madden that continue to dominate as far as the sports genres go. So EA says they now expect revenues to be $4.8 billion by the end of this fiscal year, which is up from their previous projection of $4.7 billion. Check out videogamesandnews.com for the latest gaming headlines. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Are you listening? Damn.